Hello and welcome to Time Tunnel TV. We have a very special guest here today, an amazing performance by Elise Rogers playing live on this show right now, so don't go anywhere.
Doesn't matter what the past has been. All that matters, we're living out our dreams. I'm very thankful, I'm very grateful.
What an amazing exclusive performance by Elise Rogers there with her track, I'm Loving Life. Next up we have our guest said to be one of the most influential people of this era. Created his own website and then that became what's known as Twitter. Take a look at this.
Am I going in the tunnel?
Yeah.
My name is Jack Dorsey. I'm the co-founder and chairman of Twitter, co-founder and CEO of a company called Square.
The interesting thing about Jack Dorsey is not only did he start these two great companies,
I try not to take Twitter that seriously.
many television programs he's given, he's been on Charlie Rose and CNN, he's very zen, very controlled, very calm.
Just turned from a hobby rather to a real passion, so I want to pursue computer science.
The natural-born innovator was born November 19th, 1976. He grew up very passionate about technology, as you probably would have guessed. However, there was nothing really special about Jack in the early days. He was a regular kid, attending school, and did as he was asked, all up until his college years. Jack was always acknowledged as a stereotypical nerd. He was shy, almost to the point where he would rarely talk to anyone. He was antisocial, as if he was limited in the amount of words he could say each day, and that's all when it fell into place. He attended a university close to the place he grew up in. Shortly after, he transferred to New York University, which is said to be the birthplace of one of the most addictive and influential sites in history. It isn't really abnormal to hear stories of a billionaire dropping out of the educational system. Dorsey was one of them, but not for any of the wrong reasons. He was fairly happy with what he was doing, up to the point where college started to slow him down, decreasing the growth of the small project he was working on, an SMS messaging service, allowing small groups of friends to communicate with each other. The original project name was Twitter, sounds the same but spelt different. One of the co-founders admitted that Flickr was influential to them. We can see the resemblance. Jack and his team were looking for a name that represented social networking, so we came across the word Twitter in the dictionary. One of the definitions are a short burst of inconsequential information. However, the other definition is chirps of birds, which is where the whole Twitter bird-themed logo came from. Dorsey's lifestyle is a little different to other innovators. He hates being in public and being the center of attention. It makes him feel somewhat anxious, which explains why Mark Zuckerberg is a major celebrity compared to Jack Dorsey, who's seemingly unknown to most people, even though Facebook and Twitter's popularity are arguably the same. We took a little trip to Twitter's HQ, where we asked one of the programmers a couple of questions. We can all see the next generation of Facebook. I mean, Mark buying the virtual gaming company Oculus Rift and buying the Candy Crush saga. They obviously have some interest in the gaming industry. However, Jack, co-founder of Twitter, remains in the same market. Will the site evolve? Do they believe in product evolution? Can Twitter keep it up? Or will it just be another company that Facebook invests in? These are all questions that only Twitter can answer. Jack Dorsey has changed the way we look at the industry, made it a lot more competitive, with the website so fun, addictive, time-consuming, but for all the right reasons. He has set the standards for every entrepreneur to idolize. Staying away from the media makes him all the more special and will always be one of the most superior innovators we will ever come across.
Here he is, here live in the studio, the mastermind behind the website we're all just so addicted to. Jack Dorsey, everybody. Woo! Yeah! How's it going? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well. How was your travel?
My travel, it was weird actually. I've never been through a time tunnel before.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different experience.
Yeah, it was strange. Very cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet. So, we all want to know, so what gave you the idea of creating Twitter?
What gave me the idea? Well, the idea has been around for a while. Before Facebook, it was from the early social media, such as MySpace, Pixo, that sort of thing. And yeah, it just sort of advanced from there.
Oh, brilliant.
And then when Facebook came out, it sort of enhanced the idea.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the idea of connectivity also helped everybody across the world, and you must have felt great bringing so many millions of people together.
Well, yeah, it's different because, like, say, Facebook, for example, is more for friends and personal friends you already know to stay connected. Twitter, you connect to all sorts of people, see what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's a news feed, it's a mini blog.
Oh, excellent. Good. Well, through Twitter, you do get the odd bit of what's known as Twitter beef.
Yes.
You know, you see arguments through Twitter. Could you be able to expand on some
Well,
of that?
I think there are people in this world that just enjoy drama and things like that. And I think if they couldn't find it on Twitter, they'd find it somewhere else. You know, it's nothing we can help particularly.
Yeah.
It's just a platform for that to happen.
Yeah. Well, I believe that, you know, especially at the moment, coming up to the next elections in England.
Yeah.
A lot of the politicians at the moment seem to argue quite a bit on Twitter, and there's a lot of things that have been misread and miscommunicated over the format.
Well, it is a very good platform for that, and it provides a transparency.
Yeah.
So you can see whether it's politicians arguing, celebrities, people know what's going on behind the scenes a bit more now.
Yeah.
Thanks to Twitter.
So everybody feels involved in these celebrities' lives. No, brilliant. Well, regarding Facebook, did you get any of your inspiration from Mark Zuckerberg?
I already had an idea of what it was I wanted to create, and Twitter isn't really anything like Facebook other than the fact that it's a social network.
Yeah.
I didn't take an idea from it. It helped us see the potential of how big
It could be.
an organisation like this could be. Yeah.
No, fantastic. There's so much we need to know, but we're going to come back in a little bit.
Okay.
So if we can just, hold on. Yeah. So I might as well try and ask her another question.
Okay.
Right. So 140 characters is all you use on Twitter. Do you believe this is one of the reasons why it's so popular?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's no dross, there's no repetitiveness. People, you have 140 characters to say what it is you need to say.
Yeah.
And it's just dead simple, quick, to the point.
Well, I believe that everybody feels that with Facebook. It's a huge problem because you can have pages and pages of rubbish that people put on there.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think, as you say, with celebrities and everything, you get that little bit of an insight into everybody's life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right, I think going to move on.
Okay.
There's still so much we need to know, but I say we will find out in a little while. Okay. But now it's time for a short break. Stay tuned for the second part of the interview. Welcome back. This is Time Tunnel TV, and we're still here with the wonderful and amazing Jack Dorsey. After getting a little taster of this billionaire behind closed doors, we're all dying to know much more. So here he is, Jack Dorsey. Welcome back.
Hi.
So you do say you are the billionaire behind closed doors. Why is that?
Well, I suppose it's because I'm not really a publicity kind of person. Whereas, again, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs are all sort of out there and they're all promoting their own product.
Yep.
Whereas I feel that I've created what I've always set out to do.
Yeah.
I don't want fame or publicity. I just want, I just wanted to create this masterpiece of a product, and now it's there. It's out, and now everyone in the world knows about it, and that's enough for me, really.
Yeah. So you're happy with the product as it is, or
Yeah.
do you want to expand it and do you want to keep? Because if you, at the moment, Facebook are constantly developing, is Twitter going to constantly develop and try new?
We don't want to change too much. Like, obviously, we try and refresh it every now and again. But like, one of the main complaints of Facebook is that it's constantly updating, and people just like it how it was.
Yeah.
Twitter is a simple format for people to, like, say, write 140 character short mini blogs, and that's all we will ever be.
Yeah. Do you believe? Obviously, we've touched briefly on MySpace before and MSN, over the next few years, they sort of became a bit of a fad. Would you ever believe that Twitter had just become a fad, or do you think it could be something that's ongoing?
I feel that social media has been around since the very late 90s, early 2000s, and around that time, it was still in an experimental progress, with Pixel, which now no one would even bother to use anything like that. MySpace, MSN, and basically what Facebook and Twitter have done is they've come in and they've covered everything that needs to be. Everything that needs to be covered. It's evolved social media, and I hope it doesn't evolve again. But I don't think it needs to. I think it's absolutely perfect where it is. If it is to evolve, we'll try and keep up with the times rather than stay.
Yeah. So you say you're going to keep updating and make sure you're all keeping contemporary. Excellent. Well, one bit of controversial news I did read this week, that Instagram seems to have taken over Twitter with the amount of users. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's not something you want to, you want to be the best, but, with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, it's not so much a corporate competition as, say, Microsoft and Apple are.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of ball game, really. Like, whereas Apple and Microsoft need to compete to stay with the times. The competition makes them healthier. I don't think that would work with social media.
Right.
I feel that when we work together, because we do, like, there's links to on Instagram, you can share things to your Twitter
Yep.
or to your Facebook. You know, I feel that if we work together, that's how we stay on top of the game, really.
Oh, brilliant. So you stay together as...
Yeah. Well,
Almost-
obviously we're separate companies. You know,
Yeah.
we don't really communicate with
Mm.
Facebook owners at all, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
Be like you all have the same kind of ideologies,
Yeah.
all move forward
yeah,
together.
there's no point in squabbling and trying to steal users off each other, because you know people that can multitask have everything, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's very true. So I really want to know why you created Twitter. Facebook consumed the market. So I mean, what do you feel, in your own personal opinion, that makes Twitter so unique?
Well, like I say again, I mean, I've always had this inspiration to create since the late 90s to create this social media platform, and then Facebook came along and it just drove us forward.
Yep.
And then after that, I felt that
Yep.
we'd create a much, you know, we could go places with it.
Mm-hmm. No, excellent, excellent. Right, well, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so as you say, the social media's getting bigger and bigger. Do you reckon
Yeah.
at one point you're going to be able to connect literally everybody in the world?
That's the aim. That's the aim for everyone.
Yeah.
In every social media company. That's because, like, that's in the one way that me and Mark Zuckerberg are alike, in the sense that we both care more about the products than we do about the finances and
Yeah.
the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know, and that is the ultimate goal, to connect everyone.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, in this connectability, it's the same. We dabbed briefly on Twitter beef before. You do see quite a lot of people, especially with the current crisis in sort of in Eastern Africa and all over the Middle East, with this company ISIS. Twitter are trying their best to block some of their more, say, atrocious pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not really what you want to see, and you don't want to see propaganda like that either, because that can lead to many difficult situations on our home soil.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when a terrorist organisation such as ISIS or Al Qaeda try to use our platform to promote themselves, we try our absolute best without infringing any human rights.
Yep.
We try our very best to try and block that away
No,
from
fantastic.
the general public.
Well, I'm going to have to just stop you for 1 minute, and we'll come back in a little while. Right now, we're going to go to the local news. There's what's happening across Stockport. Sorry.
I'm Katrina, and this is Time Tunnel News. Today we're going to be covering the latest topics from all over the world, including a storm appearing across the UK, 33 students died by a shooting event occurring in the States, Twitter overtakes Facebook, and college intuition will now be unheard of in a town in Arkansas. We start off about talking about an unexpected storm breaching across the UK, especially in Blackpool, with many people trying to evacuate when they heard a late warning, which of course was too late. Several people just managed to escape, however, with serious injuries, unfortunately 11 people sadly couldn't. Scavengers appeared where the storm took place. The only remaining were nappies, foreign language Bibles, and broken BMW motorbikes, which comes to show how critical this matter is, from which where there were a neighbourhood with several houses to pieces of rubbish on the ground. It was said that many people tried to go back to their homes to get important photo albums, jewellery and other valuable possessions. An expert recommended to avoid those temptations, especially when your life is on the line. Now to take this over to the United States. 33 students were murdered by an armed 23-year-old from South Korea, who also injured 17 other people. Many teachers are starting to regret not acting fast enough. The 23-year-old was always a suspicious-looking student from the very start. 6 people managed to escape by jumping out of the windows. The young student was in no state to be talked out of it. Many experts say that there were no real motives behind this massacre, except that it could just be severe depression. However, there are also speculations that the student may be autistic, which is still yet to be verified by his parents. The murderer was also diagnosed with a type of social anxiety disorder called selective mutism. A friend of his reported that he was teased all his life, being taunted as shy. A classmate of his recorded a situation where Cho received a failing grade from his English teacher in Westfields High School. It said that Cho began to echo and mumble strange sounds, almost as if he couldn't get the words out of his mouth. Reported by a high school classmate, Chris Davids. Now it's time to talk about the internet sensation who took the world by storm. Founder and co-creator Jack Dorsey says that he's relatively calm about the takeover of Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook. He says that a website with so much traffic and attention, it was only right that it could compete with the former #1 social network, Facebook. We bring you more news about Twitter from Missouri with Mohammed Ibrahim.
Idea of creating one of the biggest social trends of today. Just knowing all the people in the city will one day look up to him as a great innovator is truly gripping. Twitter is a new addictive site after Facebook. This website just exploded only a year after its launch. The site's popularity started to increase when it was displayed in the South by Southwest festival. It wouldn't really be a huge surprise if Twitter overtakes Facebook in terms of attraction and popularity with the way it's going. The usage of tweets went from 20,000 to 60,000 during that event, which we could safely say is the breaking point to this great website. Teenagers certainly find it easier to tweet someone rather than send them a message using Facebook. But that doesn't mean to say that Facebook won't strike back with a new idea. Mo Ibrahim, Time Tunnel News, back to you in the studio.
In other news, an oil company decided to pay college tuition for every student in El Dorado, Arkansas for 20 years. This has brought cheers and joy for many people who live in that area. Parents and students walked the street of El Dorado chanting about the future this generation of students now hold, with no drawbacks and excuses about tuition fees being too expensive. This is certainly a start to several upcoming graduates. The Murphy Oil Company insisted that they hope to increase the town's success rates. They also wish to inspire upcoming entrepreneurs to start their own companies, in which the company advised and informed the students of what to expect and how to avoid any upcoming bumps along the road. The corporation imputed a staggering $50 million into any institution in or out of state for anyone in a similar tuition as Arkansas Public University. I wonder if people start to flee to this town solely on the matter. That's all from me. Back to you in the studio.
Hello, thank you for joining us again. Back on Time Tunnel TV. I'm here with Jack Dorsey, our guest. So, Jack, you came through the Time Tunnel before.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be in 2014 Stockport?
Well, it's very different to what I expected.
Yeah.
You know, from living the high life in New York. And yeah, you know, it's. I like it though. You know, I nearly got run over a few times by looking the wrong way when I tried to cross the road.
Are you going to, before you go back through the tunnel, are you going to try and get a quick insight into what Twitter's evolved into now?
Yeah, you know, it'd be. Although with that, do you think that's a bad idea?
Could be. Could be some Back to the Future kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be like the opposite of the butterfly effect or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very, very interesting place. A lot of weird people.
Oh, there's an awful lot of weird people.
Oh yeah, it's like some sort of nuclear wasteland.
Yeah. Gotham City, I've heard it's been called before.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But 2014, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's just as much rubbish going on in the world as there was, and I've actually adapted my accent.
I can tell.
Yeah. You know, which was, you know, it took some time to learn, but.
Yeah.
I've adapted it for this show so that you'll all understand me.
No, I think you've done a good job.
Oh,
I think it's to stick with the whole low-key kind of thing
yeah,
as well.
Yeah. Thank you. See, with the low-key thing, like we said before, you know, it's very good because I can go down to pop down to Morrison's, get a bottle of milk without getting mobbed. Do you think Mark Zuckerberg can do that?
No, not normally. No.
No.
So, do you see much of Mark Zuckerberg these days?
No. I think I've met him once or twice.
Right. Do you not socialise
yeah,
with him?
we've spoke. You know, we've spoke about ideas and like our rise to the top and stuff. But you know, we're not really on the Christmas card list.
No. Well, I suppose that's one of the things. Even though you've moved together as a company, you're still very separate people, and you do have obviously rifts because there's still that slight bit of.
There's got to be a slight bit of competitiveness because it keeps us who we are.
Yeah.
But like at the same thing, you know. In the same respect, you can on Twitter you can have we have an option for you to share your tweets onto Facebook.
Yep.
I mean that's partly to help get people onto Facebook, but also when people see it on Facebook, it gets them onto Twitter.
Yeah, so you get hits either way.
Yeah, connecting the two, and it's
Yeah. No, excellent. Is there any up and coming apps that you've seen recently that you would get your audience to buy?
I've heard this Tinder's pretty good. It's some sort of game, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it? Have you played it?
Well, now we're in 2014. It's become a bit of I like to say it's like eHarmony. It's a matching.
Oh, I thought it was like Candy Crush.
Yeah, it's not far off.
Yeah.
All you do is you swipe left and right, and
All right.
and then you talk to the men or women or whoever you like.
Oh, right, I see.
Yeah, so it's a slightly different format.
I
yeah.
see.
Whereas Candy Crush is hugely popular.
There's in 2011 there's another upcoming app called Vine,
Yep.
which you may have heard of now.
Yeah.
It's where
That's
you can
rather
make
popular.
short videos
Mhm.
of just random stuff really, and
Yeah.
we don't know how that's going to work, but it should have some sort of comedic platform or.
Well, I think obviously it's been 3 years. Like the
Yeah.
difference between your world and ours is it's only 3 years. But the Vine has taken off incredibly well. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the 7-second videos. That's gone on to all sorts of formats. I mean, that's huge on Facebook now. It's also huge on Twitter.
Yeah.
There's even so many pages dedicated just for Vines.
Yeah.
So I just think once again that's another platform that's doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Is there any others that?
Um,
Right, well, I think that's all we've got time for, to be honest. But thank you for joining us here today. I mean, it's
okay.
been thrilling and very interesting to have you all watch this show. It's been absolutely fantastic with one of the most inspirational minds of the century. Another round of applause, please, everybody. Jack Dorsey. Woo! We have another special song by Elise Rogers. See you next time.
Got me feeling good like I knew that it would with you, with you. Got me feeling right that I'll make it through the night with you. It's true. I don't want no false advances. I just need some real romancing, 'cause you put the light in the dark, and you opened my heart again. Got me feeling good like I knew that it would with you, with you. Got me feeling right that I'll make it through the night with you. It's true. I just feel so good with your love. You complete me so I feel enough, 'cause you take the stars from the sky, and you make me feel alive again. Got me feeling good like I knew that it would with you, with you. Got me feeling right that I'll make it through the night with you. It's true. Got me feeling good like I knew that it would with you, like I know it would. Got me feeling right that I'll make it through the night with you. Make it through the night. You make me feel so alive. No imitation love, no crazy, crazy stuff.